guys, so today I am doing, I thought I'd talk about the books that I read in the month of July. I read quite a few books, so I just wanted to share with you guys what I read and see if you guys read them too, I guess. So yeah, I will, I guess, get started. The first book that I read in this month was The Anne of Avolea by L.M. Montgomery. This book is the second book in the Anne of Green Gables story, and it's basically just taking off after the first one. We're seeing her a little more grown up in this story, having a little more different issues, and characters come up as well. I love this just as much as I loved the first one. I gave this one also a 5 out of 5 stars. I just love Anne. I love the atmosphere, and I love the new characters that we were introduced, but also seeing old characters. I really am cherishing these stories. Next one I read was Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. This is the fourth book in the Throne of Glass series. This one made me a little more interested in Selena. I'm starting to kind of like her, like the story, and we also get introduced to one of my favorite characters in this story as well, and so it's making this whole series it's making the series a lot more fun. The next book that I read was The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. This is the first book in the Mistborn series. I've kind of been reading this since last month of June. I've been reading it with one of my friends, but I got through and finished the story this month, and I really enjoyed this. I gave this 4.75. It's very much a band of misfits, and they're rebelling against the Lord Ruler in this story, and we get to know all these different characters. It's a very complex magic system in this as well. It is an epic fantasy, so there's a lot of things going into it. I'm very thankful that Brandon Sanderson put a little cheat sheet in the back, because you definitely will forget. You definitely will forget. And we're following the main character, Vin, who started off in a lower class scheme, a part of this man's assembly, but she was being mistreated, and she's poor, and she doesn't know how to get out of it, and she meets Calcifer, who introduces her to this whole world of rebellion against the Lord Ruler, and that she can do something about it. So I really enjoyed this. I thought it was really good. The ending really got me, and I definitely started getting really hooked towards the end as well. So I'm excited to see where this series takes off. So yeah, this is the first book, I guess, in the many books in the series. The next book I read was Unwritten by the Gods. This was a prequel novella to this series, the Eternal War series, and this is by Caty Rogan. This happens before book 1, and I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. This was so good. The characters in this had me hooked from the beginning. I was laughing, I was enjoying, I was giggling, I was crying, and I felt sad. I felt all of this for these characters in like 100 pages. So I really like this. I thought she did such a good job in this, and it made me really excited for the next book. I read Kissed by the Gods, which is the first book, and this I gave a 4.5. I thought this was really unique, following Lena, and she was kind of like this farmer. She finds out eventually that she is in a Atar, I think that's how you pronounce it, and Atars are basically their own governed kind of sanction where they get awakened for these powers. They become more stronger, they become more able for war, they have more skills, and then they're able to kind of do some magic abilities, and also you eventually get signed up to have a companion, which is basically a Pegasus, which is really cool. What we find out is that she is the first woman to be claimed as an Attar, and also she is the first woman that is outside of this small little region that they usually come from, and she is just kind of like a random area that they've never gotten Attar from, and so we start to learn about why she becomes the chosen one and what's going on. There's this kind of evil presence that goes on in a story called the Heir. I have no idea what the name is, but basically they're like these vampire-esque things, and they ride wyvern, and they're just basically wreaking havoc on the world. So yeah, she has to fight that, which also finding more about why she got chosen. There are gods that come into play into this story, and I felt like this was really done really great. It was really unique. The characters I really cared for in the beginning, and I just thought it was overall really good. So I'm really excited to see what more comes out of this series, and also what else this author writes as well. The next book I read is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. I gave this a 4.0 rating. It's just continuing on the series. I'm definitely now more invested in the characters in this book. I'm more intrigued with the plot. A lot more is going on. There's a turning of events. So yeah, I really liked this book a lot. This was good, and I'm excited. I feel like it's getting better as it goes. That makes me more excited. Last but not least, the book that I read was The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. This is basically a book 2 in this little series kind of that she wrote. The first book was, oh, it's right here. Say You'll Remember Me. I really liked this book. This was my first book that I read of hers, and I solely picked this up because the author is, or the main character was a vet, and I work at a vet clinic. So I really did enjoy this book, so I wanted to pick up this book. I gave this a 3.75. The first half, I was questioning it. The second half, I enjoyed a lot more. The plot is basically best friend's girlfriend. And I felt really icky about it. I felt really icky because you also get to know about the struggles of what's going on with the best friend. And there's a lot going on. So it was kind of like icky territory. Also, it was just weird because I truly believed the connection between the MMC and the FMC. I truly believed that they were supposed to be together. I could see the connection that they have, the comfortability that they have. I enjoyed them together. I wanted more of them together, but in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, but she has a boyfriend, and it's your best friend. So it's kind of weird, but also I didn't believe the connection with her boyfriend. So it made sense, but then it also just was icky. Also, there was a couple of things that they found this stray dog at some point, and this dog apparently gets into like, it just made me cringe. Again, I work at a vet clinic, and so I'm like, don't do that, don't do that. But there was just moments that this dog is like eating all the roadkill. They think it's hee hee ha ha that this dog keeps getting into like getting squirrels and raccoons and getting into scraps with wildlife, and they're giving it beef jerky and letting it drink from the pond on a trail. And I'm just like, you're doing everything that I see on a daily basis that causes issues. Please stop doing that. It just made me cringe. But yeah, other than that, I did enjoy it. I think there's just those aspects that made me just feel like a little bit cringed out. Would read the third installment in this series. I think it has to do with the best friend that was in this book. So maybe that will be like a redeeming factor for this one. But I am liking the romance of Abby Jimenez. I think she does so far from when I read these 2 books, I haven't read anything else from her. She does a really good job of writing a love story, writing romance, and making you believe in these romance and having it be fun and lighthearted. So I really liked it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that maybe you had some thoughts and feelings on the books that I've read in the month of July, and if you enjoyed any of them, just let me know, or if you didn't, let me know too. But I hope you guys are liking my videos, and I hope you guys have a great day.